President. Last month, the board voted to table this item until the September 2023 meeting. During the meeting, the board voted to add a revision, which enables members of the public with a disability to participate virtually. Remember, this BCVI public participation school board meetings adds the use of comment cards for public comment before vote. And now it's time to take that vote.
Okay. Do we need to take a vote to remove, to bring it back off the table?
You could. It was actually, even though we called it a motion to table, it was actually postponed to a specific meeting. So
yeah.
it was to be brought back up, but a motion would, to that effect, to take it off the table would probably keep everything clear.
Okay. We have a motion to take this back off the table so we can discuss it and vote on it tonight.
So moved.
Motion by Hunter Smith, second by Greg Phillips. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition?
No.
Motion carried.
I have are we discussing this?
Right.
Okay, I have a question.
Okay.
This is the,
The discussion now is whether to take it off the table. We're not getting to the merits of the policy yet.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions on removing the table in the motion or bringing it forward to tonight's meeting? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. All right, now we present the motion. We have a motion to accept what is it?
BCVI.
BCBI. Read the motion to accept this. You make
This
the
is
motion.
the public
This one we get
comments. This is the public comments, right?
Yes, this is on the public comment.
What did we get this Saturday? I wasn't here when this, whatever this is, what did it come from?
Well, most are at least 50%, close to 50% of other school boards are going to this policy.
So 49% jumped off the bridge, we gonna jump behind them?
Well, I think it's something good to,
I think it's not.
I disagree. I think it's not.
that's your opinion and you're
Well,
entitled.
that's not okay.
And what other entity in this, in Lincoln Parish is doing this? So what other, the police jury?
Police jury.
So we're following
Well,
what the
they
police
flipping
jury is
all
doing.
in, so do we start flipping?
We are following what the police jury is doing now, or is that what we're doing?
No,
Okay, well,
I think
have
we'll
an
make our
issue with
meetings
this.
go well. All right,
Hold on.
When did they go bad?
Folks,
When did the meetings go bad? You people come and sit, and they don't respond, they don't do nothing.
Exactly.
So, is this, what is this? I wanna hear from you and superintendent. Y'all jump into it.
I mean, you're the attorney, but we wanna hear from where it came from.
came from me. I sent them the
But
policy
you don't
that they
pass
requested.
policies here.
No, I was asked for a draft or policy and I submitted it.
So who asked you for the draft?
Superintendent.
Okay, well, that's all we asked him. Where did it come from?
If you'll recall, we had a board retreat or a meeting or training session in which we discussed a myriad of legal issues. State law requires you to get 6 hours of training every year, and I think got 3 or more of those at that time. The question came up about the public comment law at that time. And I'm gonna tell you the same thing now that I told you then. I'm gonna get in my car and go home, okay? All I do is tell you the law. It's up to you to decide what's best for your entity. The reason 38 boards have adopted such a policy, I've got a copy here for anybody that needs it, is because of a case that happened in Vermilion Parish. In Vermilion Parish, it's in the memo that I cited to you, they didn't ask for public comment, and the court set aside the meeting. Since then, the Attorney General has taken the same approach. In Washita Parish, they went through a meeting and the board president forgot to ask for public comment, and the Attorney General required them to redo the meeting. So, in order to avoid that possibility, the policy is adopted for people to turn in a comment card prior to the meeting. It's not to keep people from talking. It is, if you want to turn in a comment card, the board president will lay them all down. We get to the item 3 of the agenda. I see there are no comments, all in favor, And so if you have the comment cards, you attach those to the minutes of the meeting, and there's no issue as to who asked to comment and not. It's just that simple. I have attached for you 3 Attorney General opinions that approve this process. And again, I respect those that disagree with the Attorney General's opinion, and I'm not here telling you, you need to do this and you need to do that. I'm telling you that legally it is permissible, and I'm telling you that the purpose of it is to avoid the lawsuit that they had in Vermilion Parish, where after the fact, somebody came up and said, hey, I raised my hand, but nobody recognized me. If you have it in writing, anybody can speak. All they gotta do is turn in a card. In Bossier Parish, they have a fishbowl at the back. And people come in and they sign their name and put the agenda item, they drop it in the fishbowl. When they get to the agenda, when just like there was a motion made to approve your agenda, the board president says, Mr. So-and-so, bring me the fishbowl. And the vice president helps line up the cards so no one is missed, and that's the way they do it. Now, I'll answer any questions that anyone has.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
All right, given what you just said,
All right.
and I know exactly why, because they made the motion, I think, second.
Yes.
But specifically, was Mr. Landry one of the attorney generals of those 3 that you mentioned?
Of those opinions?
Of those opinions?
No, sir, he was not. But he was one of the ones that filed the actual lawsuit in Vermilion because they didn't ask for public comment. So he was the one that sued Vermilion because they didn't, allegedly didn't ask for the
So
comment.
Mr. Landry was the attorney, our attorney general who filed that suit.
Who filed that suit? I think there were 2 or 3 different attorney generals that all reached the same conclusion.
Okay.
And again, I've got those right there in your package. Every one of those opinions is in that folder.
In the brown folder?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No.
So,
Yes.
so, given that, John,
Yes, sir.
isn't it permissible, and I think our reporter who's here, from the leader, isn't it conceivable that our president, with our superintendent, to ensure that we have public participation, is it conceivable
Sure.
that any member of the public, at the direction of the president, could come to the podium under a time constraint issued by our president, 3, 5, 7 minutes, whatever that number would be in duration, and ensure that we have public commentary where people from the floor could come to the podium and speak? Is that conceivable?
Yes and no. The part about the president recognizing them, yes. The part about putting a time restriction on them, the attorney general opinions say that that needs to be set by board policy. So it is conceivable for you to have a policy where we're gonna put a 3 or 5 minute time limit on you. That's
As
fine.
set by the board.
That's set by the board,
Okay.
not at the discretion of the board president. He may be president this year, it may be you next year.
But as set by the
It's
board.
set by the board. See, all of this is up to whatever the policy of the board is. And so what is being proposed in this policy is just one way of having it.
Mr. Smith.
There is no way to get around the public comment. The legislators in Baton Rouge saw fit to single out the school board and said that John Q. Public must have an opportunity to comment on any of these items that you're about to pass. So we can't forget public comment. It's there. I can talk because when I come, I don't know what's on your mind. A lot of times I get my feedback from listening to you and develop a question, but I didn't fill out the card when I got here. And I don't see this as a problem. I don't see where it's gonna cut down a meeting time or any of that, because the law is clear. You can't pass the motion unless you give me an opportunity to talk. And it can't get any clearer than that. All of you know that I've got a chance to talk about that motion.
He is correct. The legislature says you've got to have public comment. Where I simply suggest to you is that the law says that you can put reasonable restrictions on that, i.e. a comment card request for a 3 or 5 or 10 minute limit on it. That's fine.
But it has to be on the agenda.
Correct.
Whatever's on the agenda.
Correct.
It can't be something that's not on the
It
agenda.
can't be anything that's on the agenda, and the public only has the right to comment on something you're gonna vote on.
No.
It
No,
says
better read
that
the law.
prior to each vote, the public shall be given an opportunity. Now, if the public wants to, or a board member wants to put something on the agenda for the next meeting for a vote, then we could certainly have of that public comment. Or if you want to put something on your agenda, receive public comment regarding such and such. That can be a specific agenda item for which you receive public comment. But one thing he said is absolutely clear. If you're gonna take a vote, you have to give the public an opportunity to comment. The comment card gives them that opportunity for the Attorney General and the
Don't need a
courts.
card.
I have my hand raised behind you, I'm sorry.
I have never spoken in this forum before, but this is insulting. This is a blatant attempt to silence the voices that are here. It is the equivalent